Chapter 5, A Tiny Pink Nose. Mom set the box on the kitchen table. Is it sleeping? Dad asked, his voice a whisper. Probably, Mom said. Babies sleep most of the time. What is it? Lenny asked. But do you want to open the lid? Dad didn't answer. He was so excited. Very carefully, he lifted the lid of the box and peeked inside. Lenny stood behind him, breathing on his ear. You're breathing on my ear, his dad said. Lenny ignored him. It's just a bunch of rags, she said. Mom walked around to the far side of the round table and reached into the box. She scooped up a pile of material and sat down. Look, but watch as Mom shifted the towel in her arms. A nose peeked out, a tiny pink nose, and then two slanted cross eyes, a forehead covered in downy fuzz, little ears still curled tight against its head. Lenny began, It's a kid, Bat said, enchanted by a tiny creature, wanting so badly to hold it. A baby skunk? I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! Oh, Mom, said Lena. Oh, Mom, Lena said, I can't believe you brought home a skunk. I had to, Mom said, rubbing the skunk's little forehead with her thumb. She's an orphan. Uh-oh, breathed Lena. She leaned in closer, blocking Bug's view. How old is he? You're in my way, Bud said loudly, and pushed Lena's arm to make room for himself. But Mom said, you need to stay calm around the skunk kid. Okay, you don't want to scare him. Beth did not want to scare the skunk kid. They wanted to hold the skunk kid. They even feed and cared for the skunk kid. But his sister was standing in his way. Little Lena, he hissed at her as clearly as he could hiss. Why don't you both sit down? Mom said. I'll tell you all about him. Lena plopped down into the chair on Mom's right. It so bad went around the other side and sat in the chair on her left. He scooted the chair as close to Mom as he could. The kid was still tucked into the towel, only his little face visible. Eyes crossed, he opened his mouth to yawn. And I mean in a yawn. His tiny pink tongue looking out. Mom said, Dad, do you remember when we smelled that skunk on the way to school this morning? But did remember. He had smelled it just after they pulled it off their street. Plum Lane and onto Aspen Road. He had smelled it, and Mom had smelled it too. Dad had craned his neck, looking out each window carefully. He'd seen lots of people and bikes. They lived near a college, and the students and the other students mostly moved bikes to class. And he's seen other cars and some people on foot. It was the beginning of spring, but it was still cold. So he had seen lots of hats and cars. He'd seen an American flag on a flagpole in front of the post office. I'd seen one bus It said he would seen a sign that said, "Welcome to Quincy, a bike-friendly town." But he did not see a skunk. Pat nodded. "I remember," he said. But unfortunately, the skunk we smelled didn't see was the mama skunk. A car hit her, and a couple of college students brought her to my office in the basket of a bike. She was there waiting for me after I dropped you off at school. Injured and very pregnant. "Is she okay?" Asked. "I wish I could say she is," Mom answered. "I wasn't able to save her the mother or the baby kids. Only this one lived. I wasn't able to check the I was able to check the mother for diseases, though, and luckily she wasn't able to check them. I was able to check the mother for diseases, though, and luckily she wasn't sick, which is a good sign of the kid isn't sick either." "That's awesome," Bat said. "Bat," said Lena, rolling up. The kid twitched and sniffed, scared scared by Lena's voice. "How can you say it's awesome? Their mom died. The other babies died." That didn't mean Dad was awesome. It meant the other skunks had died, of course. That wasn't awesome. It meant that it was awesome that this kid had lived. But it wasn't worth it to try and explain to Lena what he meant. She usually misunderstood that. Most everyone did. "Can I?" Bat reached out for the kid, waiting so badly to hold him in his fingers, in him that his fingers twitched. "We can't keep up," Mom mourned. "There's a wild animal rescue center that we can give him to in about a month. They're too busy to make him take him just yet. So we can help him get bigger and stronger before we hand him over to the experts. They'll raise him until he's ready to be released into the wild when he's about 5 months old." Then she passed the tiny kid wrapped in towels into Bat's arms. The kid was so small that Bat couldn't even tell who he was in the towel, except for a tiny face that peeked out. He cradled the bundle in his arms. He felt his face stretch into a wide smile, so wide that it made his cheeks sore. Except the skunk once. "Bye." He want to read with me? He subscribed to my channel, #Bunny.